As-Salaamu Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about Ghusul. But before I say anything else, I'd like to thank my new subscribers and thank all my subscribers for the support, for the likes and the comments. I hope you guys continue. I hope I do continue to benefit you guys with more content that will be helpful to you. Thank you very much. So, as Muslims, we have several ways of purifying ourselves. Like in certain situations, we're taught how to purify ourselves. I'm going to mention a few different forms of purification in the sense of, for example, when we want to pray and make our salah, and that's we perform ablution, which is wudu. When we want to party, after we party. Also, when we encounter like impurities, like be it from urine, be it from other stuff that I'm not gonna go into. So we're taught how to purify ourselves. But today I'm just gonna be focusing on Ghusul, which is taking a bath, like after certain situations. So I'm gonna break it down into three. I've already kind of explained what Ghusul is, so that's done. I'm gonna go a little bit more deeper into the types of Ghusul, how to perform Ghusul, and its pillars. The second thing I'm gonna talk about is its pillars, and the third thing I'm gonna talk about is the forms. What kinds of Ghusul do we have, or when is it needed? Basically, a disclaimer: I'm not a scholar. I'm not a student of knowledge. I just have itsy bitsy tiny knowledge of what suffices me to practice my deen every day. So this is just my way of doing Ghusul according to, I'm gonna link the sources below, my sources below where I got the information from, and mostly it's from the Quran and Sunnah. There are two types of Ghusul that mainly differ. The reason why I mentioned all this madahib fiqh issues in the sense of how you do it, how you what to do, what you don't do, because there's several narrations from the Prophet ﷺ of how he did it and how the mother of the believers did it and what they learned from him and all of that good stuff. So basically there are two. One form of Ghusul, which is sufficient, is you dip yourself in a large water body. I'll link the hadith here somewhere. And water covers your whole body. If you're taking a shower, just make the intention, and then water covers your whole body. The other one is specified, where you do rituals. Basically, you have to do certain rituals that the Prophet ﷺ did. The pillars of Ghusul. So the first thing you need to do is have the intention. Make the intention before you make Ghusul or before you take a bath. This is Ghusul, okay? You're not supposed to say it out loud, I'm just joking. You're just supposed to have the intention. And the second thing is, make sure that the water, use purified water, of course, and just, it covers your whole body. And it touches everywhere. Water touches your whole body, okay? So those are the two things when it comes to the pillars. I'm gonna demonstrate how to do Ghusul. So how I do it. So I'll wash my hands 3 times, okay? 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you wash your private parts using your left hand to remove all the impurities, and then you do the actions of wudu. Wash your hand 3 times. Put water in your nose 3 times. Wash your face 3 times. I wash my arms, right arm 3 times, left arm 3 times, and then go over your head and wipe your head and clean your ears. And then I do not do the feet. There's some narrations that do the feet. You also clean your feet, you make complete wudu, and then you just shower. Pour water over your head, but I'm just telling you how I do it. So I leave out the feet for a little bit. I'm gonna link one of the hadiths as well that the Prophet ﷺ did that. So I leave off the feet. So I part my hair because it's easier when you have hair, like for women. I feel like it's easier for me, at least. I part my hair, so I wash my right side and I wash my left side, and then I wash the middle, and then I pour water from my left side, basically down on my right side all the way to my toes, and then left side all the way to my toes. The recommendation. So we're gonna start with the obligation. What you have to do, basically, in certain situations. When you fall under those situations, you have to make ghusl. You have to take a bath. And the situations where it's recommended to make ghusl, but it's not obligatory for you to make ghusl. I'm just gonna go, like I mentioned, I'm just gonna go very brief, just mentioning it. I'm gonna link the hadiths where you can read more about it and all of that good stuff. So the first is while semen is coming out whilst you're awake or sleeping. Whilst you're awake, of course, is during sexual arousal or sexual intercourse, even if there's no penetration. Whilst you're sleeping is during, let's say, a wet dream or sexual dream that arouses you and you ejaculate or whatever. I kind of mentioned the second point in the first. Oops, my bad. The second point is during sexual intercourse, even if there's no penetration. The third is when an unbeliever accepts Islam, you kind of have to take a bath. The fourth, I'm going to mention this together. The fourth is when you, after your menstrual cycle and after your postnatal bleeding. Postnatal bleeding, after you get pregnant, you have a baby, there's bleeding involved after. So after your postnatal bleeding, you have to take a bath. Last one is after Jumu'ah. For every adult who intends to go to Jumu'ah, you take a bath. So let's move on to the recommended forms, okay? Where it's not obligatory for you to take a bath, but the Prophet ﷺ did that in many of narration occasions. I mean, I'm gonna link all this stuff in the description. So taking a bath after each sexual interactions, okay? Or sexual intercourse. That means if a man has multiple wives and that, you know, he has to kind of take from the narration, or after every session, it's up to you. You could do that if you want. The second is during istihada, where a woman has continual bleeding. Like you bleed, and I'm not talking about after your menstrual period. After your menstrual cycle, I mean like it keeps going. The blood doesn't stop. Okay, so that it's called istihada. It's recommended you take a bath. Taking a bath after becoming unconscious. Taking a bath after burying a mushrik. A mushrik is somebody who believes in God basically, but associate partners with God, like believes in God but worships other idols and stuff like that, or worships someone else or something else. Taking a bath between the two eids and the day of Arafah, and taking a bath after washing the dead, taking a bath in the state of ihram or umrah, when you go to umrah or hajj, taking a bath when you enter Makkah. So those are the recommendations. For women, I'm gonna mainly focus on nifas, hayd, and janaba, which is the basically when you're impure after sexual intercourse with your spouse, and after your menstrual cycle, and after postnatal bleeding. Okay, so when you're making ghusl after your menstrual period, the subtle things that might be different for the women. That is, if you have braided hair, some ulamas, based on one hadith that I'm gonna link up here, say that you have to undo your braids just for the menstrual cycle, but not for the janaba. But and then you also use a cloth to wash your private areas that's dipped in musk or something. Musk is like perfume. And then I wash my feet, and that's it for ghusl. Okay, you don't have to make wudu after that, and that's that. And the other narration that say you just wash, the Prophet ﷺ did the rituals of, you know, washing your hands, washing your private parts, and then washing, he just dumped, like not dumped water, but he poured water on his ﷺ on his head 3 times, and that was that. So basically, essentially, that's how you make ghusl. I hope you've learned something from this video, and subscribe, like, and comment below, and share this video. As-Salaamu Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وَلْتَكُن مِّنكُمْ أُمَّةٌ